Hello, 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 Sanibonani, beautiful people. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. It's been a while, but I am back. I hope you are all doing well. Please, please do not forget, if you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. It's 100% free, mahala, to subscribe, and it really helps the channel. And as you join us, please do let us know where you are joining us from, and we are going to try and not be too long, and also give other people a chance so that we do not have one person speaking for the whole show. Okay, you have seen what we are talking about today, which was highly, highly requested, and it is about Mr. Jacob Zuma being out on medical parole. And it has created a divide in what people think. Some people are very happy, some people are upset. There are three groups. Some who are still thinking he shouldn't have been arrested in the first place, so still upset, thinking that it's still not enough to give him medical parole. Some thinking that case should be crushed. Some people are thinking it is undermining the law because they also have relatives that are in prison. Does this mean everyone who is in prison and gets sick or is of a certain age should be allowed to go and serve their sentence at home, while others are very happy, especially because there's a high chance that even if he now does go to attend the corruption cases, he will not be spending time in jail, because this should be the precedents they follow. If he is not fit to be in prison because of medical issues, it means even if he does go to the Concords and attend, and if he does lose the case, which is the main case, the case of the arms deal and corruption and all that, he will not be spending time in jail. So please do join us. And as we always say, you are welcome to speak in your language that you are comfortable with, but to try and accommodate more people, please do try and speak English if you can. Nobody is forced, but it will be nice if you can, because we do have a lot of people who are part of our family on this channel who are not Zulu speakers, from both South Africa and other countries. So please do bear in mind that not everybody understands Zulu, but we do understand that not everybody is. And it doesn't mean you don't know English. Some people, we are like Nami, when I'm angry, I cannot be angry in English. I can only be angry in my own language. I can only dream in my own language. So we do understand if you feel like you express yourself better if you express yourself in your home language. But if you can, please do speak in a language that can be understood by everyone. And please don't forget, like the video, share the video, and I have just shared the link. Those of you who do not know how to join, you just press this link that I have just shared, and it will take you in. And we do understand that it is quite late, so some of you are already wearing your political party t-shirts and you are already in bed. Some of you are already wearing with pantyhose and stockings. So we do understand wigs are off and color mine on the face. So we do understand if you don't want to show your photo or your video, the voice will be enough. So yeah, please do let us know. Let us know in the comments as well. Linda Natim Luli, I'm happy he's out and he's not going back there. Simtembile, hello.
Molo sisityenjiwe.
Unjani?
Yaphila kunjani?
Yes. And then uthini indaba kababa ukuthi uphumile ngo-medical parole?
Ya, laa nto le yayenzekileyo leyana vele besiyilindele singabanye abantu abakwaziyo ucinga kakuhle. Decide abantu abangacingiyo abazothi hayi siyavuya thina silicala elithile. Because kwamngani wakhe uphume kanje ngaye njengoba naye ephumile uShabrishake. uJackie Slebe zange aphume yena ufele ejele. Bebekwayinto eyi-one bengamatsheyini bobathathu. and ke ngoku njengoba ekhutshiwe uZuma ukhutshela uba abantu abase-KZN bangayi kwinkatha, cause kwa bathi naba balapha bathi hayi bayavuya beyi-KZN abayiboni le nto uba why ekhutshiwe, cause i-ANC ibonile uba njengoba esahleli phaa bakhona abaxhasi bakhe naba phaa kwi-ANC bayadivayideka. Nangoku uzothi xa iya
wena ngokwakho uthini, is it good ukuthi uphumile or is it bad ukuthi uphumile?
ibhedi ngesilungu, ngesintu irongo laa nto bayenzileyo i-ANC plus nalaa ndoda leyana ye-correctional service irongo, it is wrong. Cause uGedle ihlekisa udelele kakhulu wabe etye imali edibene no-Ace Magashule edibene plus nee-Guptas bayityile imali. And abantu ke ngoku aba balapha eMzantsi inyani abayifuni. Xa uthetha inyani ungumntu ombi bakholwa even kwaphaa kwi-ANC abantu abathandwayo phaa ngamaxoki. Even kwanepresenta yakhe leya inguDalimpofu ikweli qela eli belingemkhuphe kwaphaa ipalamente. Qha kudlalwa ngeengqondo zabantu bedibene nabo nooMalema ne-ANC yonke laa nto le. uMalema azophinda athi hayi akakho kwelinye icala, ukwelaa cala lakhe likamsholozi qha kudlalwa ngathi apho. All right.
Yeah, Guba, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Simtembile, for your opinion. Kevin, I can see you, Kelvin, but your device is not connected. So please do try to connect again. Your device is not connected. Please try to connect again. And guys, once again, here is the link. There's a comment that I read, which I want to read again, from Herbert Mapumulo, which was saying, hi, Sistenji, whatever happens, you must expose those secret files when he is ready. They are important for our true freedom. I feel like he's taking too long. It's making me even doubt if there are any secret files anymore, because it's just taking too long. He must either expose the secret files or just not mention them and say he was joking, because it's just taking too long. We want to know what are the secret files. Like, elections are coming, people need to know who they're voting for, people need to know what's happening. So we can't just be threatened about secret files and then nothing is being said. No, we are expecting all those sorts of stories. We know how people feel about Zuma, and we are aware that haters are angry now. That man is a son of a living God. Look at what happened after he was jailed. The economy of the country has just fallen. Why do they treat him like that? Who's really behind this Zuma? We want to know when Zenu Zuma. We are tired now. I don't know what's happening with you, Calvin and Tandega. I can see you here, but it's saying your devices are not connected. So when you do connect, please allow it to use your microphone. I think it does ask you if it can, if the app can use your microphone and your video. It's okay not to allow the video, but please do allow it to use the microphone. Otherwise, it won't be connected. We want those secrets because we are not voting ANC this time. Good. Concord fumbled. Two, Ramaphosa can see elections are around the corner. Zuma supporters bengege bavote. I am happy President Zuma being placed on medical parole and imprisonment. But being on medical parole doesn't mean ukuthi icala liphelile. Is just going to serve his sentence at home, and it will still have restrictions. It might have things like maybe he must not, he must be home by 5, or he can only leave his house for 1 hour, only for medical, whatever. But at least he's going to be with his family. We've got KK. KK, hello. KK. Hello, KK. We are losing UKK. Hey, there's a lot of Ks today. TK.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, TK. I'm good, Budwami. How are you?
I'm all right. No, I hear all of you guys are saying that Zuma must release those files. The problem that I have with South Africans generally is that even if this man was to release these files, it's not gonna help you. You're gonna just be singing, and it's gonna fade away. I mean, we know that some of the things that are happening in this country, we know them. But the question that we should ask ourselves is, what are we doing with it? We are doing nothing. We are just singers. We sing, we go to YouTube, we go to Twitter, we say whatever that we need to say. It's not going to help Zuma. Zuma must keep those files because that's the only thing that is keeping Zuma away from jail. So if we release those files, then I'm telling you, it's gonna not. I'm not even sure if he will live long to even see the next coming years. That is my problem. South Africans, you give them whatever that you need to give them, but they still don't believe it. I mean, there are a lot of theories. We have a theory of what is it called, that Mandela thing, where we forgot that Mandela died all of a sudden. We had this amnesia. It's a thing now. People use it for whatever reasons. Even white people use it for whatever reason. So I don't. It's difficult for me to say Zuma released this. What are we going to do with them?
We just need to know so that we have something new to gossip about, and then we go back to drinking our savannah, put it on our head, and dance again.
That's the problem that we have.
We are curious. We are curious.
And then what are you going to do with it? Nothing. So we're gonna go back and say
we're gonna make it trend for 2 days, and then there'll be another story the next day. There's an African saying that says, today's headline is gonna be in somebody's toilet tomorrow.
Yeah, that is the problem that I have, sustained you, is that we are not doing anything. So we might as well just live like we are living lives. I mean, wherever, like, I'm in this position. I'm in this area. There's this area that I stay on. This is the area that was literally given to a certain white person freely by the previous president. So I know that that is the case, but we are all here. We are actually buying houses here, and we are celebrating that we have achieved. The houses that we are buying are the houses we are buying the houses from the person that was freely given this land. So
by the person we voted for. By the person we voted for. And what a lot of people don't even understand about these places that we buy in the burbs is that some of them come as a lease. You only own it for 99 years, and people are not aware of that because these are not the things they teach us in school, which is a sad thing, really, for a black child.
It's an issue of being told that a house is an asset. You ask yourself a question. Like this education that we have here, it's distorted. It doesn't make sense when you read and you start being curious. Like what I've realized is that many people who are not making it in this education of ours is that they have this inquisitive mind. They always want to know the other side. And while you are focusing on that, you are failing, because the only way of passing and getting distinctions in this country is to listen and obey. And that's how it is. You go to work, you are going to obey, and you are going to make sure that you implement everything. Even if you see that this thing is not ethically right, but you are going to implement it the way it is. That is our country. Our country is like that. So I don't see why we should push Msholos. Msholos should have this thing in case then he sees that ANC is coming for him, that hard, as we have seen now, that they are capable of actually throwing anyone under the bus. So Msholozi must keep these 5.
But then what if he dies with them? We want to know. We'll forever be curious. I need to know.
Do you think that Mandela was Mandela?
Whatever happens, we are the nation that forgave people who didn't ask for forgiveness. So whatever happens, even if we find out about the files, it's not like Tina, we as South Africans, we are used to abuse. We don't care. Tina, we abuse, we put ourselves in abusive situations. We sit on a sign that says danger, Hevar, Ingos in 3 languages, but we'll still sit on it. We date a man wearing a wedding ring. So there's nothing we can do about whoever did that. We just need to know who, gossip about it, and then move on with our lives.
That is the problem. We cannot move away from the. I started knowing few things like the reason why Zuma was actually moving us to BRICS. It started clicking, and a few people actually understand why this guy was moving us to BRICS. Most of these people, they don't understand. You try to convince someone to actually argue with someone and say this is the case, they tell you it's a lie. The only reason why we were being moved from United Nations to BRICS, people don't understand it. People think that Zuma is just selling us.
Please tell us. Please tell us. We want to know.
No, man, I have a job to keep. But it's better I just keep quiet. Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you so much, TK. Thank you so much. I appreciate your contribution to the channel. No Zipho. Hey, at last in Bogota. Kunini.
Hey. Yes,
Kunini.
Sifuna ubungozi, siphila ngawo.
Awu.
No, hi to wonke umuntu okhona omamele olalele. Mina I'm happy bandla ukuthi bamkhiphile ubaba ngeke it was too much for ubaba omdala kangaka ukuthi angayo qala phansi manje ahlale edele yabona. To me so, it was not about ukuthi wenzeni noma guilty noma ekho guilty. Mina I was looking at his age and you know mhlambe ngingumZulu kakhulu owazi ukuthi kuyahlonishwa kaZulu, umuntu omdala uyahlonishwa noma sikhule sazi ukuthi noma enze kabi awukwazi ukumtshela ngoba mdala.
Manje wena Zipho usho ukuthi enemase ngidlwengulelwe ikhehleli no 83 sengafanele ngilihloniphe ngithi awubantu segugila ngaboshwa.
No, yabona ke when it comes kulokho ukuthi differs yabona kona ibuyishaye lento yesiZulu sisuke sibuke ukuthi lithini icala noma lisinda kangakanani kodwa egcineni icala melikhona. Yeah, so mina I was so concerned about life yakhe since umuntu I think uka chronic or uphila yabona nalezi lezi nje. So my concern was more on that ukuthi awubandla mdala and uyovalelwa yabona ngangasabuki ukuthi wone kangakanani noma kanjani and for lama file ashiwoyo ngeke enze lutho njoba deshe nje ubhuti ophumayo sizokwazi and nothing is gonna happen. Thina siyifunela indaba zokuthi zisikhiphe sazi ukuthi kwenzakalani and vele ke mina bandla angivoti ngi-right.
Hayibo, it's important to vote. Ungavoti kuwe sinokuvota. Thina vele sisho lo sahlulwa yiChina kwabhala wonke ama-publications kwabhalwa ngisho waphesheya ukuthi iChina leli liyimpimpi ya government waseChina. Hayi kwathiwa kuvula utshwala sakhohlwa na ukuthi kuneChina eParliament. Thina sikhulumela indaba manje.
Yabo thina sinike into zethu sibe right ngoba vele akukho kusisizayo. Akukho siyazama asisizwa yilutho and yabo manje looking at ilife yamanje if ungayiphanteli ngeke ube nalutho.
That is so true. That is so true.
So ukuthi uzamele wena nomndeni wakho niphile, and then that's it, because you vote, you get nothing. You don't vote, awutholi futhi yabona. So
That is so
yeah, in life it's like that, because even not about 350 nje abakhishwayo, mina I don't see them helping abantu. Instead ngibona becindezela umqondo womuntu omnyama ukuthi nina will give you 350 and then you're gonna shut up. Ngoba abantu banezandla, abekho disabled, abantu they must go and work. So you give them 350 uyababulala more, ngoba bazi ukuthi lo 350 if bewuthola mahhala uzokwenza into ezinkulu. Lo 350 uphelele ekugibeleni. Yabo nje mina ngiba sad if ngidriver la ePinetown epost office and ngibona abantu bakithi bamile, there is no social distance le khulunywa ngayo, bamile. Yazi ukhona abaqashisa nangezihlalo ngo-R15. Okay, it's fine for them, they are doing business. Ngoba if you can uqashise ngezihlalo kubantu abawu-500 abakwi-queue, you collecting R15 per person. That lot of money oyenzile ngosuku. But uyabona umuntu ozokollecta u350 fanele akhokhele isihlalo, mhlambe agcine engangenanga that day, ama-post office ayashesha ukuvala, and then uyabuya the next day fanele akhokhele R15. Uyagibela mhlambe usuka, let's say Hammersdale noma kwanyuswa, ukhokha u25, i-return u50. Already ususpend u80 or 350, usala namalini.
Usazolamba ave kulambeka musesoyidrobheni.
Uyalamba, kuzoba khona bazokudayisela amagwinya. Yes, igwinya li-cheap, liwu-R5 I think, but if uzolidla namhlanje nakusasa sekuwu-R10 ohambile. Yabo masubala wonke ama-cost, kumina yabo the 350 doesn't make sense. So nje siyabulawa nje ngakho konke. We don't know what is happening, asazi impi eliwayo. Sicabanga ukuthi sizoyazi, but I don't think so siyazi.
Wena Zipho, mina I think enefanele siphindele ekwabeni nama-skills bese siyeke i-pride, siyeke nokuthanda ukusebenzela umlungu, because njengoba usho 350 nje edrobheni umalini straight back. Makuthiwa ukwazi ukuluka, uma ngase uhambe uyofundela ukuluka nje, ungenza i-straight back ey'ngaki ngosuku olulodwa uluka abantu abangaki, ungabenza noma bawu-5 or 350 minimum.
Ungabenza
kwamanye amazwe.
Yes, ungabenza. And thina inkinga yethu ma-South Africans si-lazy kakhulu, sifidwe lento yokuthi fanele samukele kwezinye izizwe, fanele siqashwe ukuze sibe right, kanti akunjalo.
Yeah, guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Nami ngaze kufake ngiyofuna umsebenzi. Please support Black business. Thank you so much, Nazipho. Thank you. Appreciate your contribution.
Siyakuthanda ngoba silala, yabo besikhulume nawe nje silala si-right ngoba impilo inzima.
Right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thokozani ngubani sawubona? Please unmute yourself, Thokozani. Thokozani. Hello. Okay. Calvin, you are finally here. Please unmute yourself. Hello.
Yebo, unjani sister Njiwe?
Ngiyaphila njani?
Ngiyaphila sis. Hey, kade umuntu ezama ukungena la engangeneki.
Sorry. Ayisukhona ke manje ngoba ngiyarepeata. Ngizoyimute and just give you the platform. Thanks.
Okay sis. No, ngiyabonga sister Njiwe. One would like to note le ekababa Msholozi. Simbongele ngokuphuma kwakhe. Even though kona kubonakala ukuthi kunama underlining issues within ukuphuma kwakhe ejele, but I think ey'ntweni eziningi esenzile thina as abantu abamnyama with regard to i-situation kababa uZuma. I think indlela esihandlishe ngayo ayibanga yinhle. Mina I'm not a big fan of him. But I do feel for yena as Baba Msholozi with regard to politics as well ukuthi it's a dirty game yabo sister Njiwe. Of which most uzobuka into akazenzile nezinto ezenziwayo currently uyabona ukuthi Yes, umsholozi was bad, but right now we are in deep hell. So we cannot rely in politics njengoba abantu besafuna ukurelaya kwi-politics. Leyo ukuthi imdala-ke it's the same thing lo kade uyisho sisithenjiwe ukuthi la eMlazi kuratio ugogo abana 40 or 70 or whatever, but akaze kushuka ukuthi alingaboshwa leli khehle, liyaboshwa, yabo leyo nto. Then when it comes to the situation kaZuma sekuthiwa mdala ubaba umsholozi, angi-understand-ke leyo. Number two, kule BRICS ekade ishiwo u-TK, I totally do not understand it because i-BRICS isenzeleni. Why did he opt to go to i-BRICS nge-term yakhe yokugcina? Ubekwenzelani lokho? Because he should have explained to us ukuthi engena nje avele ashone kwi-BRICS, yabo leyo nto. So uzongena nge-term yakhe yokugcina, uzongena kwi-BRICS. Why engena kwi-BRICS nge-term yakhe yokugcina? Why ezodedela i-free education nge-term yakhe yokugcina? Yabo leyo nto, it doesn't make sense to me. Kuze kule I think mina i-contribution yami izoza la ekutheni, I think as South African we need to forget about politics and start building something of our own, because uma uzohamba sisithenjiwe uhambe ley'ndawo lezi ey'namaplazi, I don't think lawa mabhunu ahlezi lapha nabantu aba-own amabhizinisi they are much more into politics njengathi thina esihlala emalokishini, yayibo leyo nto. Laba bantu bay'nakela iy'mbuzi zabo ney'nkomo zabo namayadi abo. Mina I was surprised ukuthi ukhona umuntu ongabiyela ukusuka eMlazi kuyoshaya kaMasha uyibiyele yonke leyo ndawo leyo. It's because they know i-value ye-land, ukuthi i-land ibaluleke kangakanani, yayibo leyo nto. So thina as abantu abamnyama we just being divided over politics because uma ungasubuka how many black parties akhona within i-political space. You are talking about the ANC, NFP, IFP, yonke lezi zinto lezi ziphethwe abantu abamnyama. But when it comes to white people, uzothola i-DA, uthole what's this other party engayona a political party but eyiforum yabelungu, i-AfriForum, yayibona leyo nto. La bantu laba they know how to organize themselves, but thina we are hungry for power. We should know that we are hungry for power. We are hungry for ukulida ngaso sonke isikhathi. Umuntu uhluleka khona lento leyo ukuthi umuntu ahluleke within iqembu akulona noma ahluleke ukulandela ama-rules nama-guidance akhona. Uthi uyezwa kusasa usevula iqembu lakhe elincane. Izomenzelani leyo nto leyo? Why it doesn't opt that person to go to something else ekhona within ispace eSouth Africa ukuthi okay, let me try and mhlambe and develop abantu abayi-youth, ngiba-organize senze ibhizinisi, opts for something else. Then uyambona nawe usene-political party yakhe, usefuna abantu abazomvotela. Bona la bantu abazomvotela usethatha lezi zinto kade ey'thembisa abantu esakwi-ANC noma esakwi-IFP useyoy'thembisa abantu yena yedwa. Angisazi-ke mina lento yepolitiki, but-ke let me leave it at that, sisithenjiwe. That's my view ngale nto yepolitics ukuthi I really like I'm not interested kule nto yepolitiki.
Kevin, ngicela ungiphendulele nangu ukululeko uthi Thenjiwe, I like you as a comedian but ungixaka when you mix politics with comedy. Ngiyakucela sikhuphula amasokisi, don't mix politics with comedy. Cela ungiphendulele yena bandla.
Kodwa sisithenjiwe, Nkosi yami, no. Ubhuti akazama ubhuti noma usisi, I don't know, but I think mina ngokwami sisithenjiwe, you are doing a great job in trying to integrate lezi zinto zombili okuyi-politics and comedy, because over and above kulezi zinto lezo oy'mixile, we need la eSouth Africa zonke izinto zithathwa as i-joke. So in order to make sure ukuthi abantu abaningi bayizwe into, you make sure ukuthi iy'ngane kuthiwa zikwazi ukuzwa uma ngabe uyifundisa ngodlame noma uhlezi uyisabisa ukuthi uzoyishaya before uyifundise. Ngcono uyifundise while wenze njani zijabule. So in making sure ukuthi abantu they listen while they are in a happy mood, that's where they get to listen to you, into ikwazi ukuzika kahle emqondweni yabo, because they will remember it, because bekungayona into ekade iforce emqondweni yabo ukuthi bayilalele, but into ekade ifika nje like as in like ifika emhlabathini omanzi vele ovundile, yayibona leyo nto. But that's how I think of it ukuthi mina I think everything, even ey'koleni lento ye-politics ekufanele manje ikhulunywe ngayo, because lento yokuthi uthole ipolitiki usumdala only to find ukuthi umuntu usebona ipolitiki as indawo yokudla, while kukhona abantu abahluphekile aba-expect-ile from i-government ukuthi mhlawumbe izoshintsha iy'mpilo zabo. Lo muntu usebona i-politics as i-career kuyena. Kukhona abantu abanjalo right now ukuthi umuntu wangena wafuna ukuba yikhansela, usebona ukuthi amakhansela ahola u-35,000, usefuna ukuyongena ube yikhansela. So usethola umsebenzi yena ngokwakhe. Is not there to serve the people, yabo leyo nto. So I think politics, it's something that we should talk about on daily basis, so that people will understand what is exactly that we need as a country, what is exactly that is expected of a leader. When you say leaders, what is expected from you, what are characteristics of a lead. So I don't think all right when he says stick to comedy or whatever. Siswami, you are doing a great job, just stick to it, because to me we need a reality within into esizenzayo. Ngisho ngathiwa mhlambe uyapheka udayisela abantu, uma ubathola behlezi la bekhona, you can talk about even the politics la la udayisela khona as umuntu ukuthi bafowethu senza njani, nali izwe lisibeka kule simo esikusona.
Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. And let me speak to Unkululego. It worries me when there are so many people like Unkululego who think you have to be a practicing politician to speak about politics. As a human being, especially of a voting age, you are naturally a politician. You need to talk about politics. These are the things that concern you. You vote, so you need to be talking about izinto ezenzekayo kwakho. You don't need to be mfundisi to talk about church or to read the Bible. I fear your mental state if ucabanga ukuthi just because ukhanda ama-radio ngeke ukhande icathulo, or worse when it comes to politics, which is something that really does concern us. And mina-ke, particularly, even professionally, I studied law and I studied drama. So, yes, these are two things I'm very passionate about. I'm academically trained, kuzona zombili. So, don't take your fears. Bese uwafaka kubantu, because I feel like you are the people who will tell even abantu emsebenzini ukuthi let's not talk about this because ipolitiki sonke ngoba kuvota thina, kuvota amakhansela. We have to talk about things that are happening in our country and in our world, and we have to start teaching our children about politics from early on. We cannot be scared. Ukuthi kuzothiwani. The fear that you have, mina iyangidabukisa. And please try and keep it to yourself. Ungayisho kwabanye abantu ngoba uzoyisho kwabanye abantu abazosaba ngempela and stop talking. I am sorry ukuthi you feel like that, and I hope you can understand, because as long as you are of a voting age or you intend to grow up to a voting age, whether you are vote or not vote, because no good vote is political, because there's a political reason and vote. So I believe we have to talk about things that are happening in our country, things that are done ngemali yethu ye-tax yethu esetshenzwa yithina ukuthi wenza muphi umsebenzi akubona kwakho. Even omahosha are part of politics. They should talk about politics. Everyone akakhulume ngepolitiki. Prince Mlawuthi, sawubona. Hello, Prince.
Sawubona njani?
I am good. Unjani na?
I'm just trying to adapt. Ngiyasebenza lana ngiyapenta manje ngibona ziyabuya la manje ngithatha wathi ngene.
Yeah.
Unjani sister nje?
Ngiyaphila. We are basically sikhuluma ngendaba yababa umsholozi ukuthi bephumile ngeparole, there are mixed reactions. Some people are happy, some people are upset ukuthi does this mean he's above the law? Does this mean everyone ogulayo noma ogugile kumele aphume ejele? What are your views on it?
Okokuqala angiqale ngibingelele lapho kubabukeli bakho. Let me just start by saying this. Which law are people talking about? Are you talking about the Roman Dutch law that has been superimposed into Africa, that doesn't favor the African but promote the agenda of the colonialist? So let us not talk about the judiciary, which is captured in England, in UK. Let us talk about something that can actually be favorable to our people. Because if you talk about the law, it's the same law that has protected the likes of F.W. de Klerk, who killed our mothers in a cold-blooded, and they're still walking outside if there's nothing that has happened to them. So let us not talk about law. Let us just leave it there, because there is no law in South Africa. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to debate that up until I die. There is no law in South Africa. The law only favor the ones who created it, which are the imperialists. And we all know about that. So why are we debating the law? So when the law favor our very own, why do we have to debate such kind of a thing? Because we really know that this is the same law that has been favoring the colonialists in the past. And people never said anything about it. Now, just because I don't care if Msholozi pulled some stunt for him to go outside, I still say that's being smart, because all over the years, there have been a lot of white people who have pulled stunts to maneuver through the law, and nothing happened to them. I don't want to talk about that, because it's something that everybody knows, that the apartheid regime has destroyed the black community. It has destroyed the black nation. And nobody wants to talk about it, by the way, because people get very touchy. People get very emotional about it. And now when it comes to Msholozi, there are a lot of narratives that are being narrated by the media that actually wishes to destroy his name, everything that he has fought for. Black people have forgotten. Now, they are the ones right now who are in the table of the colonialist, supporting the colonialists, saying, let us roast one of our own because it's the right thing to do. And I'm going to say this because a black child does not understand what it means to be black, because you are fighting two enemies. The first enemy is your own people. The second enemy is the opinion of those who are funding your own people to fight you. So these are the things that we really need to address, especially to the young ones, because we can see that there's still a lot of education that needs to be done when it comes to Africanity and politics, because everything is political. Marriage is political, finances are political, religion is political. So everything is all about politics. So even the life itself, it's all about politics. So what I want to say about Legend Zuma, I know politics is it's a match fixed game. Everything is like they're moving pawns and bishops and queens who would, okay, what do we do now? But what I want to say is that we know where the orders comes from. The orders come from the top. So the top, they understand right now that one of the most favored men has been arrested in a thuggery manner. You get what I'm saying? In a manner which was not supposed to. So they know how into people are so much freaking out. And people right now, they hate ANC because they arrested a wrong person. Not because of, he didn't do anything. We all know that he didn't do anything. Even if you can tell me about the contempt of God, that's just rubbish. That's just rubbish. So many people don't even understand what is the contempt of God and how the law works and how the law favors the ones that favors. So people don't understand those kind of things, and they don't understand the dirty game that is being played by the politicians who are paying the judiciary system. Because the judiciary system, long time it has been captured. So we know that the judiciary is in the hand of the colonialist. So it's going to be used as a weapon of massive destruction, especially to us black people. So, Sister Tenji, what I want to say, is that so many people, I can see that we are actually commentators. We are not people who like to take action. And the people who fought for this freedom, let me just say, the people who fought for the freedom which didn't come, but which was privatized. This freedom that we're given, it's controlled by someone. He tells you what to do, and he can even control what you say. If you say otherwise, then you are subjected under a serious, a serious subjugation that can happen within their own specific laws. Because even though you have the freedom of speech, it's not everything that you can say, because they can cancel you. They can go to the banks and say, stop giving this guy an account, close his account. Who is giving those, who is giving those, who is funding that kind of movement? Who is behind such? I mean, like, this is very intriguing to find out that there's someone in South Africa who cannot open an account because he spoke against Ramaphosa, because he spoke against Rupert, because he spoke against the Oppenheimer, because he's fighting against the apartheid regime, which is still there, which is only privatized. We know about it. It's just the way of just like, let's just shit talk them so that they will think they have the freedom, but they don't have the freedom. Because we don't really have the freedom, and we really need to understand that we don't have the freedom. I want black people to understand that they don't have the freedom, and they won't have it now if they're not willing to stand up. And the freedom is not going to be decided by votes. I think you need to know that votes are not going to decide whether you're going to get freedom or not. The person who's going to decide whether you're going to get freedom or not, it's you yourself. You need to stand up. And this is not about politics, because there's no politics that is coming to save us. Even if we can put Malema, we put whoever. Everyone has been captured in advance, and you need to know that. It's all a dirty game that is happening. So I need South African people to be conscious and wake up. And the waking up of African people means the unity that we are always preaching. If you are united, therefore you cannot defend a political party if you are united, because it's all about the people, it's not about the political party. Because people are defending 10 people or 62 people who are in the constitution, whereas there are so many millions of people who are suffering, because you are loyal to the political party more than you can be loyal to your own people. That's what is happening. And that's why now we need to get this fact straight, that the people who are actually in the politics, who are sitting in the politics, they are the ones who are funding the people who are on the ground. That, you know what, just keep those people there so that they don't come closer and see what is happening. Even if change when ngabatshela iqiniso namhlanje ngithi la uRamaphosa last week behambile ase England ayo submitter ukuthi sibani no sibani bani ufuna ukuthi babulawe. You wouldn't believe me, because everything to you, it's always a conspiracy theory. That's a black person. They never believe anything. Even if uZuma angaphuma manje athi la sibani bani ubulalo Christian, they will still not believe him. Because to you, everything, it's always a conspiracy theory. And people are like joke. This is.
Don't you think it's something that comes from that day we were told about the so-called freedom? Because when you look at the same law that we are fighting and saying it needs to be upheld, it's the laws that were used during apartheid, that the same apartheid that we fought for and people died for. We still ruled and governed by our laws, apartheid, from our labor laws, a lot of laws. Even some of the land laws are still laws that favor people with apartheid. Because, Tina, we need to open such platforms where we can educate each other, where we can talk about things. Because you must remember, even the publications that are for black people, they will talk about Tutigolosha with a big 49. They never talk about things that are going to make us curious about what's happening in our country. So what do we do to make sure that the children we are raising are more aware and well educated? Because obviously, a syllabus that is being taught at schooling is actually worse than the one that we were taught during apartheid. So what do we do? What responsibility do we have as South African citizens?
Ngiyabonga sistenjiwe. Sistenjiwe. Konakele. Mningi umonakalo wenziwa abelungu ayomncane. And for me to say that I have a solution, I would be lying. Because umonakalo waqala la. I am telling you. And it's a pity that black people has fallen. And no matter what you can try to do, it's going to be very difficult for us to resuscitate, because there's something that is dead inside us. Oqala sahlukaniswa ne-religion yethu, our roots. We don't even know who we are. Identity crisis. It's the biggest problem that has ever occurred. You get what I'm trying to say? I was not even supposed to address you but you see what I'm doing right now, it's a product. I'm a product of colonialist. I've been colonized and I've been made to believe things. I've been made to believe things about myself that you know what, I cannot go above the ceiling. I can only go to the ceiling and come back to the ground. But what I can say is that, especially to you, the middle class, this is the class that is a problem in South Africa. This is the class that is a problem because this class confuses being rich and being in debt. This class, it's a very dangerous class, of which they take their children to the private schools. You get, when you take your children to the private schools, what happens is what? It's propaganda and brainwashing. They know nothing. They never taught anything about Christianity. They will never know about Solomon Mashangu. They will never know about the people who were trying to fight this regime. Clearly, what is going to happen is that they're going to be taught nonsense. You get what I'm trying to say? So the most thing that has actually destroyed South Africa or Africa as a whole is the miseducation of the black person. The education that you were given, you were being told that everything must align systematically. There must be a system that is supposed to rule you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The system that has been created by the Rockefeller family, by all those 10 powerful families that are actually in charge of the system, that we need to have the bank so that they can track the money that you have, so that we need to have this and this. Everything that we are doing tangible is being tracked. We don't have privacy. You get what I'm trying to say? So, I mean, like, as African, I'm not saying that we should demolish those, because those things, they come with convenience. It's okay. But what I'm trying to say, I mean, is that we should wake up and understand that there's way more damage that has been done to us. A point of cleanup, the feeding of the alcohol to the black people, so that they forget about the main important things that affects the community, which are the socio-economic issues. And you focus on umdanso, no jaiva, because you don't really understand what you have lost. And the generation after this one is going to suffer the most, because this is the generation that is the most ignorant generation that has ever lived, with the information in their hand, but still they can't do anything. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And the reason why I'm really proud, Ukuti, the Zulu people stood up for their own and say, to hell with this. Because in Africa, we don't have such, where people can stand for their very own and say, to hell with this. We don't care whatever that you're trying to subject, that Zuma did this, did that. If Zuma why even today, I really know 100% that the white people don't like Zuma. So if there was something that Zuma has done and they have proof, long time, you would have been, like long time, would have gone right now, Zuma was match. Because they really have proof that these guys did 1, 2, 3. And Jomo Bangisho, white people has funded a lot of movement. Like Zuma Must Fall. It was a movement that was funded by white people. And black people were given money to go and do what? And do Zuma Must Fall. And we really know about them, but we never said anything about it. We know about those kind of things. But what we're trying to say right now is that black people should wake up. You should be very conscious about the information that you are given by the colonialists, because I don't even believe in my righteous mind that the colonialists will give you information to decode his strategy. It's not going to happen. Every information that you're going to be fed by the colonialist is going to be the information that benefits him, or it's going to be a misinformation. I always talk about education, and I say, if education was an instrument of liberation, white people would not have given it to us. Never. If it was an instrument of liberation, like to liberate Africa, we would not have education right now. But because education was introduced to colonize the mind, to privatize slavery, because black people started waking up and they wanted to fight slavery. And when they were fighting slavery, they said, we can't be like this. Then they said, no, there's another system which is called education. You had to go through 12 years you get a degree, you get a diploma, you get a job, and all those kind of things. Those are the things that have really messed us up as black people. And what I'm trying to say right now is that, I don't have a solution, because the solution that I have, it's way deeper than what we think. This thing is psychologically. It's psychologically like, like it's difficult for a black person to believe that they can make it without education. It's difficult for them. They don't believe. They think education is the only way for me to get out of poverty. But then let us face reality. How many PhD candidates and masters and degree candidates and diploma candidates who are still not out of poverty, who are still in debt? And you're still saying education is the key to success. Are we really conscious in our mind? Are we crazy? What kind of game are we playing here? Can we really tell the truth? Let us tell our children the truth, not this propaganda or this innuendo that we're being fed, that no, it is only through education that people are going to be liberated. It is only through politics that people are going to be liberated. That thing is not going to happen. There's no any politician that is going to liberate you. People need to understand the power of unity. That happened before when Shaka was still a king. What he did, he made sure that there was discipline and unity within his troops so that he can be able to conquer the enemy. So you people don't understand the strategy that you need to be united. Zulu, Xhosas, whoever, we must be in unity, and we need to make our presence to be felt by this governing body that is governing South Africa right now. We really need to tell them where to get off, because it is clear that presidents are not, they are selected. It's a group of people that are selected that belongs in a cult that is owned by another woman in Britain, and she can say, Tenjiwe, tomorrow she's going to become a president. Already you've been given a memorandum, Tenjiwe, to ignore the black people issue, which is the land, the poverty, all those things that actually can make a black person to believe that he is human. Those things, these presidents of today, they have ignored them. What makes me to be myself as a person? That right has been ignored by one of my own, not by a white person, by one of my own who have been given the memorandum by the white person to say, listen, black people have got a problem of poverty. I want you not to attend that thing. Because if you don't attend poverty, if you attend poverty, it means that white supremacy won't remain. Because they want to make sure that white supremacy remain till the end of time. And how do you make that remain? This is what we are seeing. People are taking gold from our country, diamond from our country, copper from our country, and they go and process them outside. In Africa, we don't have a refinery that can process those things, and we sell it to them. Because it's clear, if you want to keep this... Sorry?
It comes back as American Swiss, and then we buy it and use it.
American Swiss, where did they get the diamond? Where did they get the gold? Why is it called American Swiss? And this is what I'm saying, because
they get it unfortunately from the poorest parts of our continent. But Prince,
that's why,
because I've got other people who have been waiting, but we will definitely be back tomorrow, and obviously we've enjoyed your points, because yeah, ukhuluma iqiniso loda. These are the things we need to talk about. These are the things that we need to discuss, because it is the truth, unfortunately. It is the truth.
Thank you so much, Tenjiwe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bongani,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I am good. I am good.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Ubaba Umsholozi is out on parole. What's your view on that?
Yeah. Yes, I'm pleased with the fact that he is out. As you know, that you been a problem maker for some time since abortion. I still, believe. I still strong believe it was unlawful for him to be in prison in the first place. Probably before just to put my points, I want to just say thank you for this platform, because so that I can help that person or open king or why you're mixing comment and politics and everything else. You're using that platform where you're going to engage with people, see other people's views and everything else. Most of the comedians, one of our own is running a show in America dealing with politics, but is a comedian. Most of the American comedians that are in politics, they're speaking politics in their shows. So for me, for him or her, whoever was, Intaikogile is politicized. Exportation and importation is politics. Immigration is politics. Economical is politics. The history, education, the one that I fundile is politics.
Even
so
who
we
you
live
can marry.
Whoever we're going to marry is politics. The ring is politicized. For the fact that now I'm wearing a ring, who came with that mentality, that that
And
idea?
There are laws about who you can marry, how old they have to be, where you can marry them, and if you are done, how you divorce them. Everything is politics. We could wake up tomorrow to no more pink sunglasses. I could be put in jail for wearing these glasses if the law changes.
Right.
Everything, we are politics. We are politicians, whether we like it or not. We asked for land. They gave us polyandry. They said, we're not giving you land, but women can now marry as many men as they want. Like, where are we going to keep those men? It's political.
It's political.
Where are we going to keep our new many husbands when we don't have the land? So we need to talk about these things.
Yeah, it's true. So for that reason, I just want to say thank you for this platform, for where people that can able to come together and engage with this, we're talking about the GPV at home, Bula Wonders Fazan and all the stuff. These things need to be discussed. These things need to be put, people they have to discuss it and engage in this in these things, and to see how can we go about and bring solutions in those matters. So for that person, he has to just understand, or she has to understand, this is how we are as humanity. We are just politicized. So so that you learn, people will teach him. And also I want to take this opportunity. I don't know how I'm going to engage with you that much now, because I've been sitting here listening to my brother Prince Mlaudzi. He was on fire, and he was really breaking things down, to make people to understand where we're at, and the issue that we are having as society is so deep. Going back to Msholos is released on parole. We still understand that there are still restrictions, and so on and so forth, which is going out with because it's on parole. Which I'm still not really happy for the fact that it's out on parole, because there are these decisions that I'm still waiting for, because I think this, of course, this is politicized as well, for the fact that that decision was going to put the judiciary or rather going to export the judiciary to what they've done, because I still strongly believe which it was unlawful for Msholos to be incarcerated for given those 15 months. It was emotional from Miss Campembe, or whatever her name is, to declare and say, now I'm giving you 15 months, because of court of contempt and what have you. I may not know the law and everything else, but I can tell when someone is really emotional about it. So for the fact that now is out, I'm pleased with it, but I'm still want to see that rescission that was applied for, the result to come back, because as far as I know, they were pushing the team that is led by senior counsel Advocate Bofu to put things together like bish bash posh, and when they did that, but now we are still waiting. We haven't received any news on that until this period came about. I understand also the ANC at this point in time is under pressure because as far as we know, the man that is in power right now, it doesn't come quite often to address people and what have you. It's under really, really serious pressure for the fact that in KZN, for instance, right now, also the leaders of, like Tumseni Ntul and other, they're really under pressure in this point in time. So Jacob Zuma needed to come out so that probably it's going to clear some, certain things, because right now most of the people, they don't want to vote ANC at all because of what has happened to Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma as a person, the reason I like Jacob Zuma, I like the idea, not the person. The idea, what he stood for what he represents. The reason why we are still today talking about Christian, because Christian of what he represents. Even today we're speaking about Sobuga because of what he represented. So for that reason, the idea that make me, or most of the people like Jacob Zuma, is the most important thing. So ANC is under pressure now, whereby politically they needed to just clear this out by allowing, because I believe that they've been discussing the matter behind the scene, for him to come out and everything else, so that they can able to to try and calm the situation out from the people, because the masses, we are the people, and when our voices are being suppressed or marginalized, we will come out by saying we are not going to vote. Whether people are still going to vote, because even now I don't know what the alternative. If I'm not voting NC, what am I going to do? I'm going to bring back the powers. Am I going to vote for EFF? My brother just said it clear. The system is rotten to the core. Whoever you're going to bring in to the table is going to do the same thing, because they're already all of them are captured in advance. The most important now is just to echo the sentiment of our brother Prince there, is for people to just come to the level of thinking to try and do what they can able to do. Let us start now to do our own stuff. As much as we follow politics, because there's no way you cannot, because we are living politics. But let us work on ourselves. This idea of saying people are lazy, we are not lazy. We are not lazy. We might probably, what I would say, lazy thinkers of some sort, but we are not lazy. We as African, we can work. We can work. If you give us the land to do some work, we'll do it, as we've been doing. Because the system, the way it's designed, I can have a PhD, master's, it's just for the system. It's serving the same system. For me to go to work, I'm serving the system. Where's that money going to? The money that is coming to me is not even a 10%. It's something that which I can just, to move about so that I can able to look after my family. But the power, the person who's in charge of the company is the one who's going to benefit from me. But the system, because of the education that I'm thinking that I'm feeling better than anyone else because I'm driving Mercedes-Benz. Who's that Mercedes coming from? It's a German car. I'm wearing Gucci, and he said, "Who's the Gucci?" I'm celebrating the things that I have, which is really nothing. People are suffering, and people, now is the time whereby people have to fight for their right. Izwe elethu, umhlaba ubuyele kubantu bawo, umnotho ubuyele kubantu bawo. Yes, we need the leadership to push us into that. But a youth of South Africa, the youth of today is lost, and everything in there is in their disposal. All the information is in their disposal, but they don't want to think, they don't want to grasp onto it and see how to go about. Even today, I was listening to Bonkos today. He spoke so, I was listening to his speeches, because I've been following. Understand what time is it right now? The government that is leading, the black president of our country right now is censoring people. People that they don't have a freedom of speech. Now we have this opportunity to engage with you. We don't know what consequences we can face by, having this engagement with you as a society. And people that have been censored. that tells what time is it, where we at. And the youth of today, they have to understand that this is a time to mobilize, like the time of yesterday, whereby people they were mobilizing back in the days in the 80s, 70s, you know, since, you know, the Nelson Mandela of this world, they were incarcerated because they stood up. They came out to the peak. They said, you know, we are moving, we have to do something about this. So, you know, so now people, they have to engage, they have to unite. Unity is vital for the society to go forward. If we are not united, then it's going to be a problem. And it's really, really bothering me. I said this to as many people. This thing of tribalism, it has to end. We as black people,
part of the divide and rule. It's not going to end. It makes the system work. It's part of the divide and rule. If we are divided, we are better.
Yeah, we are easy to be attacked. So because we know the enemy is really corny, the system is really corny. For the fact that we know that, you know, it's a divide and rule, let us fight against it because we see it. We can see it. You know, I just saw a young man, you know, he came with a kettle and then he named it gun blazing against the young man. Another young man, Mapengu or something like that, it just came with a watch, gun blazing against him for the fact that he said Amapeng. And you're asking yourself, what's wrong with us? Because we are captured mentally. The system or the Boers or the you know, the Western ideology is still in our mind, and this you know. Sorry.
Omunye umuntu meko wase-Italy asibuza ukuthi indaba ngigqoke igama research because
you see.
Thank you so much, Bongan. Let me put other people
no problem. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Zero. Hello. Hello, Zero. That's a nice name. How are you?
Yebo ninjani?
Siyaphila unjani?
Siyaphila. Kukonakele into engiyibukayo sisi mina ngibona ngazi ukuthi vele ngeke size sikhona lento ngoba siqale la ekuthaneni iAfrica iyona eproducer ukudla okuningi, kodwa ukudla kudura ngalendlela ehluphayo la eAfrica. Siphinde siyoqhubeka nale mfundo le esinayo, le mfundo esinayo kwayona, le mfundo esinayo isitshela ukuthi iyasidivide kwayona, ngoba mina mangafundile ake siqale la umsholozi ukukhishwa kwakhe, ezinye zezinto beziphambili ukuthi umsholozi akafundile. Nakuba umsholozi ehlakaniphile, nakuba umsholozi ekhombisa ukuthi unamagalelo angasisa phambili, kodwa siqhubekile thina ifundiswa sathi umsholozi akafundile. Siphinde
ngicela uqale ngikuphikise nje ekutheni as ama-Africans fanele sihlukane nokuthi umuntu mengafundanga imfundo yase-West sithi akafundile. Ayekho umuntu ongafundile, even ingane encane misikwazi ukuhamba isuke isikufundile ukukhasa, yafunda ukuhamba. Ukuthi umuntu akafundanga imfundo yafika nabelungu akumenzi ukuthi akafundile. That's part of ingqondo yobandlululo esayifakwa aba-colonizers zethu. And ibhlungu leyo nto ngoba we end up ignoring ulwazi olunzulu olungasisiza as ama-Africans ngoba sifuna ukwazi ukuthi ufundephi, ufundiswe ubani. Kuzokusiza ngani ukufunda iy'ncwadi zo-Shakespeare?
Kunjalo nje njengoba ngiyibeka nje, nami impela yilapho engiyakhona ngibona lokho ukuthi ngendlela abasidivide ngayo laba bantu amaphisi amancane, kumele uqale uqoqele amaphisi amancane ngaphambi ukuthi uyofika le ndaba yokuthi singama-country sihlukene la e-Africa. Umuntu waseNigeria sibuka njengeNigeria, kusamele siqale la kwi-education yethu thina, sisuke kwi-education size ngaphakathi. I-South Africa-ke yona ubheda kakhulu ngoba ngaphakathi e-South Africa sinama-category, kunama-provinces, kunayo yonke lento le. Kusamele sibuyise lokho, siphinde futhi yabona kunento ebuhlungu ongathi mangayisho manje ngathiwa hey lo muntu lo yabantu. Yabona lento le yokuthi sithanda abantu bokuhamba, sibathatha njengabantu base-South Africa. Abantu bokuhamba-ke mina mangikhuluma abantu bokuhamba ngizokhuluma ngabantu abawele lolu lwandle lelu lase-West baza ngapha ngakithi. Labo bantu laba akusibo abantu bala, akusibo abantu bala. Abantu bala yibo labo esibaxoshayo, labo esithi asibafuni. kodwa laba abanye sihlala nabo beze besibulala abanye babo besibulalela elizweni lethu asinankinga ku-right kuthiwa umthetho uyabona ilapho engifike ngidideke khona impela ngiphela inkani. Into okumele siyenze ukuthi kumele kuqale kubhidlizwe le mfundo le. Ake sifunde imfundo yogogo, yazi ukuthi indlela ogogo bebesikhulisa ngayo ake kube nezifundo ezisikhumbuza leya ndlela yakudala, ezisibonisa leya ndlela yakudala yokuphila, bese siyasuka-ke sizolungisa lento yama-province ukuthi hey mina ngumXhosa, hey mina ngumTswana, bese sisuka lapho-ke sesingahamba-ke siyolungisa ilokhuzana. Awungitshela kwenzeka kanjani ukuthi izwe elinjengeZimbabwe elinamadama amangaka lithiwa liyahlupheka lidlula wonke amazwe la ilokhuzana? Kwenzeka kanjani loo nto leyo? Siyivumele ukuthi uma ngabe kufaka ama-sanction lapha eZimbabwe, i-South Africa engabe ithi mayifake iZimbabwe ama-sanction sizokusupply thina ngokudla, sokusupply ngayo yonke into, nayo ivumelana nabantu baphesheya. Yiyo le United Nations leyo ivumelana nabantu baphesheya ukuthi kulungile ngoba nisentionile iZimbabwe nathi ngeke sizi-supply. Uyayibona yokuthi sibolile kahle kahle. Abantu abanqaba into yaphesheya, opresident abanqaba into yaphesheya bayabulawa phambi kwethu sithule. Ingakho ngiyibheka nami ngivumelana nabafa abahambe ngaphambili ukuthi kuyafana, ngisho ezinye izinto bengasitshela ngeke size sikholwe. Nabo president babulawe phambi kwethu bebulawela lelokhuzana. Ngeke ngiyibize ngegama Thenjiwe, sisithenjiwe, ngoba mangiyibiza ngegama ukovala i-channel yakho. Lento le yelokhuzana le kuthiwa sijove ngayo lento le lomjovo, babulewe abantu bebulawela lento le, bayafa abantu bebulawela lento phambi kwethu base-Afrika. Babulawa abantu bokuhamba, siyabasiza thina njengama-Africans, asinankinga sithule ku-right. Yonke lezo zinto lezo ubusubuka ukuthi kothatha isikhathi esingakanani ukuthi ngampela umqondo womuntu omnyama su-decolonize, sususe yonke lento le efakwe kithi ukuthi mina uma ngine-degree ngingcono, ungcono nami ngoba ngine-degree ngimncane kunomuntu one-honors. Kunama-division amaningi okusamele ukuthi siwasuse sisithenjiwe ukuze sifike la siyakhona. Asibuye kulo mthetho lo obophuzuma, lo mthetho lo obophe nje kulokhuzana. Umthetho esiwusebenzisayo niyawazi-ke nina ngoba nenzile nolo o-Dutch bani sizoboshwa umthetho wabantu abasiphuciza abasitshontshela izwe. Uyasibopha namhlanje lo mthetho lo. Kusamele sisuse zonke lezo zinto phambi kwethu ukuze sikhona ukuthi siqhubeke. Ayikho into esiyoyenza uma ngabe sisaphuswa umthetho waphesheya. Ayikho into esiyoyenza uma sisathenga ngemali yaphesheya. Ayikho, akunanto esiyoyenza uma ngabe sisazi ukuthi thina la eSouth Africa kumele uma ngingena eklasini le-economics ngiyofunda ngizotshela ukuthi i-Africa izwe lokuproducer i-raw material. Ngithathe leyo nto ngihambe kuyifundisa ingane yami. Ngine-PhD ngitshela ukuthi ilokhuzana i-country yami or i-continent yami ikhona ukuproducer i-raw material kuphela, ayikhona ukuqhubekela phambili. Unjiniyela ola eSouth Africa, nalabo benza i-geology, umsebenzi wabo akusikho ukuthi bafune indlela yokuthi baprocesse further le raw material. Umsebenzi wabo ukuthi bakhona ukupopola ukuthi igolide likuphi manje, kususwa abantu lapho behambe. Umsebenzi wabo ukupopola bebona ukuthi igolide lila, then bazokubiza-ke ngonjiniyela oqavile ngoba ukhona ukupopola. Awukhoni kodwa ukusiza ukuthi siprocesse lezi zinto siyidayise thina kube izinto zase-South Africa. Bese ungitshela ukuthi-ke kukhona ushintsho lokwenzeka. Okwesibili, okokugcina sengizovala. Ake sibuke lo baba lo abamfakile. Lo baba abamfakile ukhandiwe, wakhanda isikhathi eside, and siyakwazi lokho phambi kwethu ukuthi lo baba bekhandwa. Kumanje uvikela wona lo mbuso bewukhandela, and wenza sure ihawu lawo, wenze sure ukuthi kumanje uphethe yonke into. Uma ungathiwa uyastrike siba u-5 manje, so wona ibhanoyi hhayi lamaphoyisa, lamasotsha ehla phezulu azosibamba ukuthi siyadoyidoyisa. Manje-ke kusiza ngani ngoba yonke into esiyenzayo siyakhuluma nabo vele kube nalento yokuthi i-tribe, ama-vendor azosupporta ukuthi hey owethu lo muntu lo u-right, lo muntu lo mathi ngisho bembona ukuthi uyaphetha ngoba phela ngampela kahle kahle uma ubheka i-economy yethu i-West State, but okwamanje sablenywa uZuma, kuthiwa uZuma wonke lo, uZuma wonke. Yazi ibuhlungu into eyenzeka ngoba awusakhona nokuthi ubhale ku-Facebook ukuthi nje uma wathi Ramaphosa nje wathi nje Ramaphosa hawu usenkingeni uzogcilelelwa noma uphelelwa umsebenzi.
Yeah. Kade sasiya ko-Facebook jail. But yabona-ke mina-ke guys, my feeling about education into efike ngiphathe kabi ukuthi mengifa nje manje ngithi ngisakhuluma nani nje ufika ukufa, ingane yami ngeke ilenze lutho nelilodwa ijazi enginalo. Fundile-ke mina Nkosi yami, ngalalela ekhaya ngaya esikoleni ngabatholela iy'tifiketi ababeyifuna ngabanika zona, ngase ngiyahamba ngozenzela amahlaya. Ngiyayenzela ukuthi lo degree yoze kuthiwa ngingcwatshwe nalo. Ngiyayenzela ukuthi business degree, ngiyayenzela ukuthi i-BA yami, ngiyayenzela lutho. Kodwa ukuba kuthiwa ngikwazi ukukhanda ama-radio, ngamfundisa umntanami ukukhanda ama-radio, bengiyothi uma ngifa sengingcwaba kusasa bekhanda i-radio. Emsebenzini uyothi usemakhazeni bayobe befake omunye umuntu already esihlalweni sakho e-office lakho. Bothi beya kini beyolanda amapeni akho ney'thombe zakho obuhlobise ngakho edeskini, bakufica sekusebhokisini, sekukhona ohleli esihlalweni sakho. So we must invest in better than academic education. And the fact that sithatha imali u-300,000 an average degree. Leyo mali uyazi ukuthi ungathola umhlaba nenkomo ey'ngaki and start a life. That's why amabhunu ungawafica ey'koleni. Akangitshela ukuthi wafunde tertiary nebhunu. Ngaphandle kwabenza mhlawumbe o-agriculture, amabhunu afunda lezo zinto. Alifundeli ukuyoba i-accountant, another person's dream.
Wena sisithenjiwe usho ubala ngoba ngifundile mina ngafunda ngeke ngisho ukuthi ngigcine kodwa ngifundile impela ngenza kukho lokho maths ngafunda hey kwathiwa ngisiqenqa lalela nguhlebe into ongayazi emsebenzini ngiphethe umlungu ka grade 12 akadeleli ngiyakutshela umuntu uyamchazela ukuthi x squared akayazi lento ukuthi expert kuhlangana next bakutshela ukuthi lo muntu une experience kudala sala ecompany manje ke kuyafana lento le.
Wena ngithi une degree, wena umufi degree yakho uhamba nayo, kodwa umlungu one business umefi business ulishela izingane zakhe ezingafundile ziqhubeke zirun.
Kunjalo nje and bano connection and
into yethu. We need to re-evaluate ukuthi sisiza ngani lento yase-West. And it was one of the things abayisebenzisa ukuthi singabi ne-generational wealth. Because awukwazi ukuyishiya. Ngisho wathi ufunde wazoba ne-PhD, awukwazi ukuthi elami ijazi elibomvu ngizolishiyela ingane yami. That's the only problem enginayo nge-education. It's one thing that was used to stop us from having generational wealth. So let us have kuphethwe abantu bakwamanye amazwe ase-Afrika. Because bona bathi noma kuthiwa unayo i-degree wangawuthola umsebenzi ngakubo, kodwa ufika uyakwazi ukubeka isitini nodaka, uyakwazi ukugunda ikhanda. Thina asikwazi ngisho ukugunda ikhanda guys, asikwazi ngisho ukwenza icansi, sazi ukwenza ucansi nje kuphela. We can't allow ourselves to be that generation. Ngeke asifunde nokunye.
Kunzima sisithenjiwe ngoba vele mina ngike ngayihlala phansi ngayibheka le ngathi yazi education yayizele ukuthi eAfrika ngendlela abayistructurishe ngakhona izomosha isikhathi ngesikhathi wena usesikoleni ingane yebhunu bayinikeza inkomo iyayikhulisa isikhathi uqeda wena esikoleni uzobe uyi-financial advisor.
Uyosebenzela yona ingane yebhunu.
Hayi bafowethu ake silale cha kodwa sasinje ogcina ngiyabonga mina ngiyayibonga lento le oyenzayo lesithemba ukuthi ngoba ngiyazizwa insizwa ziyangena ezihlabayo impela ihlabile lapha omnawo cha uyabona mangabiza kanje lento yakho asithemba ukuthi ngeke besivalele yona ngoba sekuvalwa yonke into manje.
Babuye bangivale ngivalwa 2 days ngibuye ngivulelwe ngibuye so bona nje sototoba koze kulunge.
Asitotobe ngane yakwethu.
Sototoba kuze kulunge. Ngiyabonga kakhulu bhuti wami.
Siyabonga.
Thank you. Ngiyabonga. Thokozani, sorry ngubani kade umile. I am so sorry. Sawubona, please unmute yourself.
Okay. Yisayini wakho inkinga no sikhona silalela. Sizwile nabapendayo bapende impela. Yes, mina-ke yes, mina I'm very young ngisemncane but due to ukuthi khona i-organization engayiqala edila kakhulu ne-youth kanye nomphakathi, and I saw it growing in such a way that nakwezinye iy'ndawo as oNdwedwe, koNandi and so on siyatholakala and umphathi wayo yimina. And this organization, it is non-political. Yeah. So this organization is non-political because izinto ezinepolitiki kakhulu ujezwa sekuthiwa khona into esitshontshiwe imali thizeni and so on. But ngithe ngisendwedwe this year, I think it's few months back, ngabona ukuthi nathi politically siyalimala as an organization engekho political, but siyalimala ngokuvaleka kwezwe liyavuleka, i-COVID-19 i-youth eningi ihlele emakhaya, abanye they're not used in this online education yabo ukuthi kumele online and so on. So we started to see ukuthi no man, there's something happening kwipolitiki esilimazayo nathi yabo. But-ke moving back to i-topic lesikuyona mayelana no-Jacob Zuma, ukubonakala kwemisebenzi yakhe aseyenzile before ikona okugcine sekupressa ukuthi nabamthathile bamfaka ngaphakathi bebona ukuthi asikho isidingo sokuthi bemvale ngaphansi ngoba kuningi osekwenzakalile khathi uba president wethu uformer engaphakathi. Ukubona abantu bephuma ngobuningi, mina it was the first time ngibona abantu abamnyama bebambisene ukuthi sizokwenza into eyi-one ngesikhathi esisodwa. And there were people before the unrest khona umkhonto owesizwe ilo i-MKV le eyathi ubaba Msholozi uyoboshwa hlaba efile bona, bathi sizommela kuyomane kuchitheke igazi if kuwukuthi isikhathi sokuthi bona beyinikele bazoyinikela. And ukubona ubaba Msholozi ezinikela emaphoyiseni wayeprevent ukuchitheka okwegazi okwakoyenzeka on that day yabo. Okusho ukuthi if ubona abantu abamnyama bedefenda umuntu omnyama kanje, it's because of ukuthi imisebenzi yabo, like imisebenzi yakhe ubaba Msholozi bayayazi yabo. So mina side lami angisibonanga isizathu sokuthi kuboshwe ubaba Msholozi because the first thing lo muntu akasanayo ipower etheni la eSouth Africa, usemdala, usehlala emakhaya, usehlele ekhaya, useyiphumulela. So what is the reason of ukuthi esephumile ey'ntweni ey'kanje? Because ipolitiki is just a dirty game, kuyayidlalelwa la. So what is the reason of ukuthini sengiphumile egrawundini ngihleli ebhentshini ngibuyiswe back ngenkani in these dirty games yabo? Because it's like manje kufana nokuthini inyoka isibalekile yangena emgodini sebeyigxokoloza kuthiwa inyoka ayibhekwa cause once yaphuma iphumisa ishazo. So bafuna ukuthini ekugcineni ekhulume izinto ezingagcina sesenza ukuthini nathi as intsha esakhula gcina sesisafarisha from izinto esingazazi kunezinto ezi-right singazazi. There are some things that are okay been untold because once they are told kuzolimaza izinto ey'ningi yabo. Once u-president uformer wethu uJacob Zuma ekhulume izinto esingazazi kuzolimala umnotho wethu more than kwenzekile kwi-unrest yabo. And kunezinto ngampela shuthi uba uMsholozi ayiphethe noma azaziyo about i-South Africa yonkana noma about i-ANC.
We are
No,
curious.
Yes, sonke sifuna ukwazi, but yena I'm pretty sure ukuthi khona isikhathi asilindile sokuthi mhla sekufika isikhathi esithize ethi hayi no man, this is the perfect time ukuthi ngiyidedeleke this information enginayo.
Or what if it's too late?
No, asikwazi ukungafika isikhathi. And I'm pretty sure ukuthini if phela ubheka even ochomi bakhe uformer president uJacob Zuma uthi bonke bashayekile le ekhaya yabo, bahlakaniphile. I'm pretty sure ukuthi this information eyibambile one of the Gupta families bayazi ukuthini ngiyiphi this information or this secret ubaba Msholozi ayibambile. And if ubheka even emazweni nje a-nearby noma a-around ubaba Msholozi uyaziwa and uyathanda. Kungabonakala as if ne-EFF i-against, I know EFF was against i-ANC not ubaba uMsholozi, because somewhere somehow abaphathi bayo i-EFF noma some other parties bayazwana kanye nobaba uMsholozi, yabo. Shuthi ngingasho ukuthini, this information anayo ubaba uMsholozi bakhona nabanye abayaziyo, so even if kuthiwa uyabulawa akabulala, kusalayo this information mhla sekufika isikhathi iyophuma, and mhla isiphuma ivela kuyoba kuhlungu abantu abaningi. And okunye-ke ekungiphatha kabi, mina I'll just tend to be corrected since kwangena umongameli okhona la eSouth Africa, inkululeko kuvele sobala ukuthi asinayo. Le nkululeko ekuthiwa sinayo, sinikezwe yona, asinayo total asinayo. Sithi kwangena nje ubaba uRamaphosa, everything is negative, everything inkinga phezu kwenkinga, i-COVID-19 siyavula for sure. Nje kwanaye nje manje ukhohliwe nokuthi sikulevel bani, because kade evala evula evala evula. And if ubheka since this COVID-19 iyafika ngendlela eyafika ngayo, I just remember ukuthini kwathi uma ebuya eChina ubaba Ramaphosa, he was alert ukuthi there's this thing pandemic esikhona la asuka khona. If kuthiwa wayi-prevent kusa-early this thing ukuthi ingafiki la, but they saw ithuba lokuthini joliphe ama-PPEs, ukuthi kudliwe iy'mali, uxoshwe abaxoshwayo as obaba uMkhize abasekho, yabo. Futhi this thing eyakhe angiqonda, but there is this agenda ephushwayo okungukuthi thina as South Africans noma as Africans we might think ukuthi into kababa uMsholozi isiphelile noma no, there's still a second phase ezayo ukuthi izobe simthatha ukuthi ubaba uMsholozi sida uyakhuluma, because I think although that we are also curious, no Ramaphosa noma enabanye banewari ukuthi yini le ubaba uMsholozi ayifihlile noma yini le ayaziyo. Lethosa ukuthini ngomvalela kwabo ejele kuzoba ukuthi mhlambe there's something azoyikhipha, but yena shuthi naye ubonile ukuthi naye no man for now usadlala. But I'm telling you there's something le South Africa engasekho right, and to fix izwe manje it's too late. It's too late, it's too much, because this thing eyenzakalayo phezulu iyenzeka yala phansi kwama-local government ethu. You can see indima enkulu.
Mina, I'm
Yes.
still saying the same thing. Zuma must tell me what happened. At least mina ngizoyigcina secret yakhe, but someone has to know. Someone has to know.
Go join the Gupta family.
Inbox me and tell me who killed Chrisan. I just want to know.
And it's not that all. There's this information ubaba uMsholozi anayo enza ukuthi the whole cabinet ishake. There's this information mhlambe there's this secret, and there's this thing la eseke eya-trenda on social media engayibona ukuthi khona izinto ezenzakalayo lapha phesheya. Kunale queen le eyakhona ukuthi I just forgot igama layo, ukuthi ama-presidents kuyona kuyivashela like more than twice or 3 times, kuwukuthi ubaba uMsholozi, I think so, kuwukuthi ubaba uMsholozi waya kanye khona, wesibili wathi yena angeze lidayise izwe lakhe, right? And if ubheka naleyo ndaba leyo ukuthi there's something khona futhi kwakumele ukuthi isayinwe noma iyenziwe, and then uthola ukuthi there's this COVID thing, kwakhona iy'mali ey'tshelekayo kephi phesheya. I think it's 500 billion lo okuthiwa ulo ubaba wethu futhi usephinda ewawubhumuzwa ewawudla ukuthi what happens with this 500 billion, yabo. If ucabanga kahle ukuthini izwe lonke likwi-state sokuthi we are scared of this COVID-19 thing and kuney'mali ey'limalayo, i-economy iyaphansi, but kunamazwe who are also affected by this COVID-19, but yet they are still ukuthi batsheleka iy'mali to elinye ilizwe nalo elilimali. What is the agenda lapho ekhona, yabo? There's this agenda ephushwayo thina isingayazi, but-ke okunye-ke ezingishilo before ukuthi ipolitiki is just a dirty game that kusho ukuthi nathi we are just been played, siyadlalwa and sizodlalwa, yeah, sisazodlalwa nje impela, yabo. So mina iside of view yami ithi if kuwukuthi we still want ukubona iSouth Africa noma i-Africa yonkana ilunga abadedele thina enkundleni ukuthi thina let's try and take over and see. Yes,
But you need to know the truth, need to know what happened. See, now we still need to know what happened.
yes,
We still need to know.
kuyafana, we don't know what's really happened to Mandela, right? Because you can't
But
tell
maybe
me,
that's the truth that Umsholozi has. It could be that truth. It could be the truth. Listen, we've been here for 1.5 hours. Guys, I have a weakness and I admit it, and I need you to help me. I let people go on for as long as they want. That's why I failed being a teacher, because my class would take 7 hours. I mean, I let people let it out, kuluma, for as long as you want, which is not a good thing when we have iskhathi to keep. We thought this was going to be for 30 minutes. It has been 1.5 hours, an hour over the time. Okay, I've got Ushaga. Ushaga has been here. I'm going to allow Ushaga now to say something, and I won't cut him because he's been waiting. And then after
but please
Ushaga,
open the more.
thank you so much, Thokozani. I really appreciate. I
Mm.
appreciate having such young people be part of the platform. Yeah, Ugutin.
Betina, please open this platform again kusasa or anytime this week, because kwanathi sifunda lukhulu in this platform.
I'm back.
Yes,
I'm back the whole week. So tomorrow, definitely tomorrow, we will be back. Thank you so much.
no
Really
problem. Thank
appreciate you. Thank you.
Yebo
Wena
ngiyabo.
Wendlo,
Yebo.
unjani?
Ngigrand
I
unjani
am so
sis?
sorry. Yazi sakulindisa sakulindisa.
Hayi
I need to
khululeka
get a
khululeka.
driver.
Hayi vele uyayidinga ngempela because abantu vele bathatha isikhathi eside kakhulu. Mina sibe straight to the point. Angazi ngizozama ukucode switch ke mina. Ngizozama ukucode switch ne.
Yep.
Kahle ngithi mina thina sinalo iqiniso nje singabantu. South Africa nje sinje. Okokuqala njengoba senza umsindo it in code switch. Okay, we are making noise simply because of who we are. If ever I'm Zulu, I'm going to protect somebody who is Zulu. Ngingumzulu vele, so manje ngenza umsindo ngiprotecta lo wakithi ngithi umsholozi hey kanjani ngoba ngizama ukuprotecta wasekhaya. Eqinisweni nje lilihle, umsholozi usithengisile. Ukuthi omunye wenzani phambili, uMandela wenzani okwabo lokho, umuntu nomuntu unecala lakhe. Umsholozi nawo unecala lakhe oqulwa lona manje, angisho. So kumele like singabi bias sithi ngoba lo waseLimpopo uyi-president yethu yase-South Africa. Mele simhloniphe, simnikeze isikhala sakhe, naye mangabe namacala naye ukhona ozomhlokoloza uma ngabe ephumile. Lesi isikhathi sokuthi umsholozi naye ajeze namacala akhe ngoba uthengisile as a country. Wasithengisela, siyazi ukuthi uthengisele kuphi. So hayi ngoba mhlawumbe singakuboni, sikubona kahle futhi siyakwazi, kodwa ngoba sithi umuntu wakithi hey abakithi abaningi babenefitile ngoba bona babenefitile lapho wakithi oqala ibhizinisi elithile umsholozi lapho wamsiza. So ngithi hayi umsholozi ngiyamela, cha, usithengisile as a country, icala elibomvu leli elihleka elibi kakhulu. So asiyekele nje ukuba amamenemene or amaphixiphixa nje, sisile thina nje as abantu. Angikwazi ukukhuluma kahle, yazi angijwayele public speaking, so ngicela ungixolele. So again okay, bengisakhuluma ngalokho ke like okusithengisa kaMsholozi. So ukuthi uneminyaka u80 bani una 70 bani asingeni lapho thina. Uma ngabe unecala akho umuntu ukuthi uma ngabe unecala una 100 ungabulala umuntu uma una 100 kusho ukuthi ngoba usumdala, so akhopa icala yabo. So mina nje into engiyilelayo ukuthi asiyekele ubumenemene, asiyekele ukuba ngaphixiphixa. Masifuna ukwakha sakhe ngendlela eright. Uma ngabe kwicala kaMsholozi akube icala lakhe, mina bengingafuni ukuthi mina yejele. Angifuni qamba bengingafuni for simple reason, hayi ngoba mhlawumbe ngithi ngoba ngumZulu, cha. Ngoba bengifuna ukuthi aye lapha elokhweni kuSondo Commission azokhuluma, sazi ukuthi kwenzakalani ebugebengweni bakhe. Yabo, naye lonke ithimba leli bekade liganga phakathi elibenefitile sazi, ngoba uma ngabe busy ebaleka ngendaba ukuthi uzobosha aze mhlawumbe mhlawumbe azaze ahambe emhlabeni angeke sazi ukuthi obani bekade be-involve kulobugebengu bokuthengiswa kwe-country. So mina nje kahle kahle ngifuna ukuthi aye ezondo commission, into engiyifisayo leyo. Ukuthi uyaboshwa akasaboshwa, cha angingeni lapho, kodwa bengifisa ukwazi ukuthi obani abenze kanje, obani abenza kanje, so that sizokwazi ukubuilda from lapho sephambili ukuthi ingasaphinde yenzeka lento eyenzekile. Mina ngiyalithanda i-country yami, so angifuni ukubona ubugebengu. Ngiyabonga
we need to build from a foundation of truth, because vele sihlele ku-foundation yamanga kumanje. So we need to build from a foundation of truth. Nanokuthi-ke nje indaba, I'm just curious, ngifuna ukwazi.
Nayo upresident lwamanje zizomnethe zakhe, angeke bathi icala liboli, zizomnethe zakhe noma nasekana 75 nazo zizomnetha. So okwamanje sisanetheka lo wakithi akanethekeke. Mina ngifuna bangene ngendlela eqondile baye phambili, into engiyifuna nje leyo. Ngiyabonga.
What do you think? Do you think we need youth or rights ngabantu abadala eParliament?
Cha, i-youth mina anginayo inkinga ye-youth. Anginayo inkinga ye-youth, kodwa siyabona ngisho nayo i-EFF ngisho nayo i-youth iningi lakhona. Kodwa siyabona indlela abayiphatha ngayo kwabona. Baziphatha njengabantu abangafundisekile, ngisho ukufundela kwesikolo, kodwa baziphatha njengabantu abangenalo abangazi ukuthi indlela yokuyiphatha uma umuntu uphatha kanjani. Kunokuthi mhlawumbe uma ukhuluma ukhulume into e-right, kodwa ngendlela oyenza ngayo kube ngazathi lento eshoyo ayikho right. Understand? So ukuthi yintsha, mina ngifuna umuntu ohluzekile, angendaba nokuthi uyintsha noma uthi una 60 mangabe uhluzekile ngokomqondo ngene esikhaleni, into engiyifisayo leyo. So intsha eningi ngiyayazi ukuthi amakhanda ayo ngathi agcwele upende. So ukuthi yintsha umdala kimi akusebenzi lokho, ngifuna umuntu ohluzekile kuphela.
Ngisho ukuthi nami ngingangena ngoba ngiyacabanga ukuthi ngihluzekile mengabe
nje number one
not every day. Some ngidleni imali yeni ye-tax and uthole nalowo 350 athole 35 udleni imali yeni ye-tax. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you, and we will be back tomorrow same time, 9:30 South African time. Please do suggest a topic. What do you think we should talk about? And if you don't, I will just give you one. But I do enjoy being back. I enjoy the platform. I enjoy my views. Abantu ahlukene. I love you. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And do the right thing, Shem. Do the right thing. Good night.